Okay, so today we're going to be talking about dividing functions. So you guys saw functions last year. This should be kind of review in a way. We're going to use our newfound ability to factor to help us here, make this a little bit easier on ourselves. So when we simplify functions, and these are all going to be dividing functions. So basically, we're just looking for what will cancel out. So first of all, setting this up, what this is saying is it says it wants to take the function of f divided by g of x. So they're not giving us an input. They just want us to simplify them as much as we can. So basically what it looks like is it wants us to do something like this. 12x to the third plus 15x squared minus 6x all divided by 3x. Okay, this is the f function right here, right? This is the g function. So normally what we do is we look for, is there anything up here that can cancel out? I don't see any 3x's up here. I could cancel out an x right off the bat, but maybe I can do more than that. So we're going to look and see if we can factor out anything more. So is there anything more in each of these that I can factor out? Move to the front here. So each of these, like this would be like 4 times 3, this would be like 3 times 5, this would be 2 times 3. Looks like I can factor out a 3 from each of these and an x. So if I do that, my new function is going to be 3x times 4x squared plus 5x minus 2. Okay, and that's still dividing by 3x. So again, when you are multiplying and dividing the same term, they can cancel each other out, right? They're going to go away. So now that I've done that, all that's left is just this top part. You could put a 1 underneath, but that's the same as just not having anything, right? So my final answer is just 4x squared plus 5x minus 2. Not too bad, not too tough, right? Let's look at another example. So this one looks like I have a quadratic up here, right? And then it wants me to divide it by this. So this is what it gives me initially. 3x squared plus 5x plus 2 all over 3x plus 2. Now my guess is that when I break this apart, it's going to produce two binomials. One of them is going to be 3x plus 2. But I've got to break it down before I can make that decision or choice there. So let's see. I need to figure out what 3 times 2 is. 3 times 2 is 6. Okay, so I need 2 factors of 6 that would equal 5. Right? Well, 3 and 2. Add those together are going to equal 5. So I need to break that down to 3x squared plus 3x. So 3x squared plus 3x, and then plus 2x plus 2. Okay, and then I'm going to group them. I can factor out a 3x, so 3x plus 1 would all be left there, because there's a 3x in front. Oh. Okay, sorry. 3x goes in front, and then it'd be x plus 1 left. And then factor out the 2, and it'd be plus 2x plus 1. So I can factor out x plus 1, and this is what I'm going to get. I'm going to get x plus 1 times 3x plus 2, and that's all being divided by 3x plus 2. Hey, look at that. These should cancel out. And what I'm going to be left with is x plus 1. So all that I'm left with at the very end is x plus 1. Okay? See how that factoring know-how and stuff has helped us on this, made it a little bit easier. So that's all we're basically doing on this worksheet. It doesn't really get that much more complicated than that. So, and yeah, let's do one more just to kind of show you guys what we could do here. Let's look, because this one's a little trickier. So let's look at this one. So this one, the setup is 7x squared plus 6x over 7x squared plus 4x. Well, we're going to look at this and be like, oh, this is so tempting. I just see 7x squared here. I want to get rid of both of those, right? Well, let's factor out what we can first. So when we factor out our common, none of these are going to like be a quadratic where we can really factor into two things, right? So we can just look for common factors on each side, and it looks like each one just has a common factor of x. So if I take out the x, it'd be x times 7x plus 6, and then x times 7x plus 4. Well, it looks like the x's will cancel out there, but I'm still left with these. That's actually as simplified as we're going to get. Okay? Because I can't cancel out these because they're technically part of the same term. That 7x can't go into 4, or 7x can't go into 6, so I've just got to leave it like this. So that is your final answer on that one. It's actually a pretty easy one, but that would be one that would trick up a lot of students.